Good news, everybody. We finally have another piece of information going towards Renegades, and this time it comes in the form of a shiny new weapons trailer. And despite the sarcasm in my voice, I'm actually quite enjoying what I am seeing out of this trailer. And since, unfortunately, I was not given the pleasure of being invited out to Bungie, like some other creators, to go look at the new Renegades stuff, we're going to go over what we can see in the trailer. So, starting off, we have the Uncivil Discourse. This is the Han Solo blaster pistol, the one that is going to recharge based off of heat. There is no traditional ammo capacity with this weapon, and it just looks like it is going to be a solar hand cannon that just recharges shots. I think it is going to be similar to Ariana Vow in the way that it performs. Probably will do a little bit less damage considering the fact that it appears that it has a marginally faster fire rate than Ariana's Vows, but again, this is just all speculation since I wasn't invited to go out and try these. Up next, we have the modified B7 pistol, which is going to be yet another hand cannon. A lot of hand cannon in this trailer, and as you can see by the gameplay, whenever you get a precision kill with this weapon, it is going to spawn a burst of stasis crystals that are going to be around the enemy, and the stasis crystals are able to explode on other enemies. Essentially, this is kind of like an AoE stasis weapon, a little bit like Kraustesia, except for the fact that there is no alternate fire mode. It is just by shooting it, you're going to activate the stasis crystal component of this gun. Good utility for freezing. Its perk probably won't be the best in Crucible. Up next, we have my favorite of the bunch, the all or nothing pulse rifle. It appears to be a strand pulse rifle with a similar model to most of the Tex Mechanica weapons, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a strand pulse rifle. It looks like that it severs on hit. I haven't seen enough footage from this trailer to make the determination on whether or not that this is an exotic or not. If I had to say, would think that this is probably the only legendary weapon of the bunch being shown, but you know, we'll see. It just looks like a strand pulse rifle, and it does a little sever effect whenever you get a precision kill. Up next, we have the refurbished A499 heavy sniper rifle. This is a new archetype of sniper rifle. We haven't had anything called a heavy sniper rifle before, and it appears like this is going to be the first of a batch of sniper rifles that are going to be one and done. All this appears to do is shoot and do a lot of damage, so once again, I'm not convinced that this is going to be an exotic. However, I wouldn't doubt it if it was, considering that this is the Mandalorian rifle, and I don't know how Disney does their business and if they want their star property, their Star Wars IP right now, the main character's, you know, rifle weapon to be exotic, but we'll see eventually. Moving on is the M17 Fast Talker submachine gun. If any of you played Star Wars Republic Commando, that old Xbox game, this is that. It doesn't look like it has any special gimmick besides shooting really fast. It looks like to be stasis, just from the way the bullets are coming out, and it doesn't have an actual magazine that's reloaded, so this is either going to be a heat-based weapon. I think it is likely going to be a heat-based weapon. Moving on to the Compact Defender sidearm. This kind of looks out of place compared to regular Star Wars weapons. I actually don't know what this is supposed to be based off of in the movies, but this is a void sidearm with a suppressor. I doubt the suppressor is going to matter for gameplay purposes because it never mattered, and what it looks like it does is it either does one of two things. It charges on kill and creates an explosion whenever you get another kill, either that, or whenever you get a precision kill with the weapon, it does a void explosion. I'm not really able to tell. Once again, I wasn't invited to the family trip, so I don't get to go try this out at Bungie. Now, moving on to the most disappointing part of the trailer, the armors, and oh man, the Fortune's Favor Hunter exotic legs. It just does not look good to me. The only thing it does is it gives you a void overshield that recharges over time. Your shield recharges over time into a void overshield. Maybe whenever you get additional healing, that healing will kind of boost over into an overshield, but void overshields are kind of in a bad place right now. This void overshield, I fear, is really going to be no better than what we already have on Bastion Titans, so we'll see eventually. Up next is the Praxic Vestment. This is the spiritual successor to Twilight Garrison. Even though I fear it's not going to be as good, it certainly is going to be fun. You trigger the ability to fly. The flying looks very similar to the way Anthem flying works, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from BioWare actually advised them, or at least got hired at Bungie and brought those ideas to make this Praxic Vestment. At the end of the flight path, the character does do a shoulder charge. I would be curious to know if this is a shoulder charge that is built within in the Praxic Vestment, or if the shoulder charge depends on your current equipped subclass, if you can do a hammer strike or a shield bash. I would really like to know that, but this seems to be the most interesting of the 3 exotic armors that we're going to be getting in this expansion. And finally, for our last armor, we have the Demusuffusion. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but TLDR, a warlock casts a rift. The rift suspends enemies, and then those enemies take damage over time. This is the least interesting of the 3, and conversely, the attention paid to it in terms of time for this trailer was the shortest of all of the exotic armors. In my opinion, the suspend playstyle doesn't make sense when you're in melee distance, and they made an exotic. We'll go over why I think this is bad when I actually get my hands on it. And finally, we have the Praxic Blade, the lightsaber in Star Wars. We can't even get a lightsaber in Fortnite, but we're going to have a lightsaber in Destiny. This is kind of a crazy thing. We see it starts the trailer off by doing a little callback, like a Force recall. I'm sure they will explain this somehow. As you can see from the trailer, it reflects incoming fire and redirects the attack, similar to the way you'd expect a lightsaber to work. And I'm not sure if they just did this for hype moments in Aura, but it does one-shot the Cabal Walker. I'm sure it was just done for hype moments in Aura. I don't actually expect this thing to one-shot large vehicles like this. But it is a kinetic sword, the first kinetic sword that we are going to be getting. This is 100% an exotic, not able to be comboed with any of the other weapons on this list, unfortunately. At least I don't think so up to this point, but then again, we will see. It doesn't appear that all of the weapons in this trailer are going to be exotic based off of a lack of visual effects or lack of doing something special, but like many things, we will see. And I reiterate, I was not invited to the family trip, so I don't get to play with these things early to show you. Moving on, we have the Heirloom Combat Bow. It fires high-powered explosive bolts. This is our Chewbacca Boltcaster. There really isn't anything much more to it. It looks like it's going to do an absolute fuck ton of damage, likely a heavy weapon. So very excited, like many things, to get my hands on all these. I know I keep on saying that, but all of this is just exciting. It is rare to get a DLC with this many unique weapons. The last time we got a DLC with this many unique weapons was Forsaken. So hopefully this is the beginning of a new era where we actually get fun exotics to play with, unique, varied exotics, or if this is all just bleed over from a collaboration with Star Wars and Lucasfilms, we will see. And finally, I know I've said finally enough times, we have a teaser for what we can only assume is the dungeon. It looks like it's going to be on a swamp of another planet inside of a pyramid ship because there is pyramid architecture. If I had to guess, we are likely going to be facing another disciple of the Witness, or in lieu of a disciple of a Witness, what my official prediction for the dungeon is going to be, it is going to be a Cabal final boss. We haven't gotten one of those in quite a while, and it is going to be the head of one of the syndicates that we are fighting. This syndicate was powerful enough to get inside of the pyramid ship and defeat a disciple of a Witness, and then it is our job to clean up after them to make sure that they don't get the technology. That is my official prediction for what the dungeon is. Unfortunately, despite DMG saying over 2 months ago that we'd have a release date by now, we still have no release date. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm going to, in another video, cover the current Twitter drama surrounding this, because like all things, there is no Twitter drama, but I don't want this to go on too long. Destiny 2 Renegades launching December 2nd, 2025. Pre-order now. Yeah, don't pre-order this. Just buy it if you think it looks cool when it comes out. And besides that, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I actually hope you think that all this is as cool as I do.